Hi, I'm Les Vegas. In this video, the Universal Audio LA-610 Mark II goes head-to-head with the 6176. We'll hear them on vocals, bass, electric guitar, and drums. Then we'll add the process tracks in the mix and compare it to the original so you can hear how processing just a few tracks can completely transform an entire mix. So, if you've been thinking of getting an LA-610 or 6176, you should have a really good idea of which is best for you by the end of this video. First, let's go over the similarities. They both have 610 preamp sections with input gain and output level, mic, line, and high Z inputs with the same multiple impedance settings, 15 dB pad, polarity reverse, and 48-volt phantom power switches, along with 2 bands of high and low frequency shelving EQ, each with the same 3 selectable corner frequencies. Also, they both have really nice backlit VU meters with 3 modes of operation, but the VU on the LA-610 is quite a bit bigger, which is nice, but I find the smaller VU on the 6176 doesn't lessen the user experience for me in any way. With the meter function on both units, the VU can display the output level of the preamp section, the amount of gain reduction, or the output level of the limiter compressor section. Where they start to differ is in their dynamic sections. Though both compressors are program dependent, the LA-610 Mark II has the T4 optical compressor based on the classic LA-2A. This uses an electro-optical detector, also known as the T4 cell, with an electroluminescent panel and photoresistors. How this works is, the incoming signal varies the strength of a light shining on a light-sensitive cell, which controls the overall gain. This makes the compression completely program dependent, where the amount of compression varies based on the strength of the incoming signal, while at the same time applying very fast attack and dual-stage release times. Unlike the LA-610 Mark II, which has a tube preamp and tube compressor, the 6176 combines a tube preamp with a solid-state FET-based compressor based on the legendary 1176LN. This limiter compressor uses a line-level input transformer and a FET, or field effect transistor, for gain reduction, followed by an additional gain stage. This is why, regardless of the source material, the 1176 affects tonal quality, and why some engineers turn the compression off and just use the 1176 as a tone box. Wait a minute, you may be thinking, did that dude just say both compressors on the 6176 and LA-610 Mark II are program dependent? But what about the ratio, attack, and release controls on the 6176? Well, although the 6176 has 6 user-selectable compression ratios, along with attack, release, input, and output controls, their responses vary according to the changes in the incoming signal. The circuitry within the 6176 will faithfully compress or limit at the selected ratio for transients, but the ratio will always increase a bit after the transients. To what degree, though, is completely program dependent. The input knob doubles as the threshold control, and the output control is for makeup gain and ultimately final output level. However, turning up the input also affects post-compression output levels. One feature in the 6176 circuit not found in the original 1176 is the addition of a MOSFET regulated power supply, which improves bass response and significantly reduces noise floor. Also, on the 6176, each section has dedicated ins and outs on the back panel and can be used independently or in series by flipping the switch on the front panel from split to join. The LA-610 Mark II doesn't have dedicated ins and outs for each section, but you can completely bypass the compressor from the front panel. The 6176 also has an RCA connector on the back, which lets you connect 2 6176 channel strips for stereo operation. For that, though, you'll need to get the Universal Audio 1176 SA stereo adapter, which sells for $199. Currently, the LA-610 Mark II sells for $19.99, and the 6176 is $28.99 on Zounds.com. If you decide to get one, please keep me in mind and use my links in the description. They take you directly to the product page, and it helps support this channel. Alright, let's hear how they sound. For this demo, we'll be using the lead vocal, bass, electric guitar, and drums for my group's upcoming debut release. We'll start by playing each track with the compressors bypassed, and only the preamp and EQ engaged. Then, we'll turn on the compressors, dialing in the same amount of gain reduction on each, so we can compare the sound of both channel strips when they're set the same way. Finally, we'll play the mix with and without the LA-610 Mark II or 6176, so you can hear how processing just a few tracks can really help improve a final mix. As always, each track was precisely level matched to the original unprocessed recordings using integrated LUFS measurements from beginning to end, so we can accurately hear the difference the processing makes without louder volume levels influencing our perceptions or decisions. Alright, let's do it.
You bring the look, I got the touch. Take my hand, let it warm up your love. You bring the look, I got the touch. Take my hand, let it warm up your love. You bring the look, I got the touch. Take my hand, let it warm up your love. You bring the look, I got the touch. Take my hand, let it warm up your love.
So, what do you think? If you could only have just one, which would it be and why? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I made these test files available in high quality 44K 32-bit WAV files to compare in your DAW. You can download them at the link in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.
You bring the look, I got the touch.